streaming, what could happen? We don't know. We're experiencing this for the first time at the same time. All right, so before we bring out these guys on stage, let's give one round of applause for all the sponsors. Check out the booths and support the products that makes this possible.
Just give it a second. Hello. By the way, that was Allie farting in the background. Allie, bring it closer. Come on, we're all friends. We like each other. Hi guys. You guys having fun? That's the correct answer.
Let me see yours. Allie. That is...
What?
That's $29.99, sir.
We already did that backstage.
See that camera? How'd you get the orange one? Is that red?
She's
the red one. Salmon.
Tyler explained that it was salmon.
It's a salmon camera.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well,
so,
here he is.
Okay, I'll let you talk.
Charles Trippy. Are we gonna do? How do you guys want to do this? Are we doing? Is there a moderator? Is that my job to go out and do the Q's, and then you do the A's?
Every time we do this together, always something bad happens.
I think so. Let's do that. So let's chat for a minute, and then if you guys have questions for Charles and Allie, or any of us, I'll just come out there with the microphone. I got some new shoes. Logan made me get them, so I'm really agile. I can jump off the stage, and we'll do some Q&As.
What socks are those?
Oh, dude, these are my stance. I got stance socks.
Look at that. Sponsor.
How long is it? What is the day count right now? How many days have you gone without missing?
I think today's video is 23:05. I think it's 23:05.
Is that, you're on year 7, so you've gone
year 7.
6 years and how many months?
What? May? I don't know.
6.5 years.
In May, right?
This guy is your biggest.
It was 23:05? I was right?
23:05? Not that we're counting or anything.
No, there's no counter.
What are the repercussions of that, though? You have not every single moment, but there is something to be said about that, about having that much life as a whole, as like a creation. That's 6.5 years. That library of 2,305 videos, that's like a living, breathing entity.
Right.
All that life linked together.
I don't have 7 kids, so that's my kid right there.
I don't have 7 kids either.
Well,
I actually haven't told you guys about 2 of them.
You didn't tell us?
Charles, I told you, keep Flotsam and Jetsam on the low. I'm not supposed to know about that.
I don't know, it's just kind of like with you, man. You've been vlogging. I think he said I was the king. That's not the truth. He started first, so. Shay is the original, the OG vlogger. Actually, I'm going to take it away from you. Nultz is the OG vlogger. If you guys have no idea who Nultz is, look him up. He's the OG vlogger.
But you can't really say like I started this, right? Like I started because Anne Frank did it. She was writing in her diary, and I was a big fan. And I was like, shout out to Anne Frank. I'm gonna do a daily video diary and one her up.
You won her up, huh?
You know, just like our species has been recording our interactions with each other, and now it's going to that whole new level, right? Where the live streaming, right? Like that's what's so cool about the future, and I think the live streaming is really going to be big in the next couple.
I definitely agree.
It's getting big now. I think it's a sleeping giant, as I heard a blog post recently referred to it as. But because the internet's faster now, you can hang out in real time. That's why I think the vlogs were so enticing, because people are like, I'm living with them, right? But it's always 24 hours, right?
It doesn't take so long to download those videos. Because when we would upload a video, it's like 20 minutes. You know, like dial up, just imagine that. No one would want to do it. But now everything's so speedy and fast, you know, everyone can just keep up, especially with the live streaming. I think I definitely agree. You know, like, the only thing for me about live streaming, I screw up so much. You know me.
You gotta be careful. I mean, if you're live, you know, when they do live TV, they have a delay.
Yeah, like, no editing.
Some delay, so if something happens, they can cut it. But
you should hear some of the hey tells Shay and I do. I screw up so much, it's just terrible.
And I love it because you can't like delete the message, and it's like, how do I delete this? And I'm like, you can. I'm gonna go get your name on Periscope, because your name on Periscope is your Twitter name.
Yeah.
Right, Matt? Am I right here? We should know this. Charles, we're supposed to know that stuff. So that's my question is, and you get it all the time, but I'm gonna ask, and we used to ask this before I stopped doing dailies, how long are you gonna go? Forever? Like, do you...
Well, here's the thing. I was just having a conversation at the back. Somebody asked that, and like I'm really bad with like habits and stuff like that. If for my Apple Watch, I stopped wearing it, and I don't wear it anymore. It's just because like I get out of a habit, I forget to do things. So I feel like if I take a day, because I know you've been telling me to take a day off forever, to take a day off the vlogs, but I know if I do that, I'll probably stop. And I don't want to do that, so I don't know. Would you stop?
It almost seems like it would be harder to stop than to just keep going.
Yeah,
it's such a part of, I mean, what do they say, like you start a habit after 21 days?
Yeah.
What about 2,305 days? What happens then? Is it a habit by then? I know, I think, like what vlog's not up? Do you start to like freak out? Like, I'm gonna miss, oh no.
The other night, he was freaking out.
Tell us, give her the microphone. Let go of the microphone. What did he say? Was he crying? Did he cry?
I think about if he stopped. It's such a part of his life that I think he would have an emptiness. And honestly, like I think he would have an emptiness. It's like you have to breathe in air to live, and this is something he has to want to almost live his life. And so it's not really a nuisance doing the everyday thing. But I don't think his life would be completely dependent at all.
I think it's kind of cool that, you know, there's a connection. I mean, you're a cool friend, but I mean, to have more friends,
they're way cooler than me.
They're way cooler than me.
I have back hair. It's gross.
I'll shave it later. They just get weird again.
Just beads in there.
This is what happens. Maybe we should ask questions now.
Yeah. All right, so here's your chance to ask the king of vlogging, Mr. Question. Charles, raise your hand. I know this guy does right here. Okay, question.
What part? The porta potties.
What's the worst part?
Porta potties. In the afternoon.
So do you guys not use the bathroom on the bus? Is that a rule?
You can't poop on the bus. Not allowed to poop on the bus.
Number one rule.
That's why you're not allowed on the bus.
No pooping on the bus. I remember growing up, my daddy was like, no pooping on the bus. I'm like, but dad?
If you had any open space on your sleeve, what would you add to it?
On my sleeve?
Rock. You gotta put Brock's name on.
Oh yeah, I gotta put Brock on there. I gotta like the spaceship's like his, I think.
The question is, if you have any, like, is he gonna add to a sleeve? Are you done?
I think I'm just gonna make a new sleeve. That's probably what I'll end up doing. Because I don't think there is any space.
You're never gonna be able to get a job. You're gonna walk in and be like, this guy has tattoos, he can't be trusted. I'm not gonna hire this guy. Next question.
Is there a way to turn the monitors on? That probably would help.
What? He's figuring out the monitors, that's a cute name. Are you guys ever get married? He wants to know if you ever get married. And if he's invited, and what he should bring.
Wait, what?
Do you need a new DVD player? He wants to know if he can come to your wedding.
Go to the wedding? What wedding?
That's the question. Next question. Right here. Question.
We really need a monitor up there. There's some plugs up here. Come on. I gotta do this. We need Nerd Rock.
Her question is, how is it vlogging with 5 kids? Because they have 5 kids as well. Are you vlogging right now? It's awesome. I love waking up in the mornings and coming into the kitchen and my kids are watching old videos of.
Well, Marley is very...
She's crazy.
She's very crazy. You met her. And she wanted food and she just bumped her head and just, you know, got in a little accident.
Aggressive. All right, next question.
There are a lot of barriers to vlogging, and I think it's like you don't like yourself on the camera or you don't have enough time. How do you remove all barriers and just start vlogging?
Yeah, I think what Allie just said, you just do it. Don't worry about the barriers. Because, I mean, there's always going to be people judging you. It's just, you know, your kids around here, or screw it. Just, somebody's going to judge you anyway, so just do it, you know, whatever.
I had this concept.
Unless there's an internet connection, then that barrier becomes very hard.
You don't have the internet, you can't.
Your cell phone data is going up.
Try to live your life like 100 years in advance, right? Like, what are you going to care about in 100 years from now? Are you going to care about people thinking that your shoes were dumb at Vloggerfair? No, right? So you probably shouldn't worry about that right now. Which is hard, right? Because you're all like, oh, these people are looking at me. I'm a little sweaty, I'm embarrassed. It's like, who cares, right? Like, we're all just people. You guys got 2 arms, I got 3 arms.
Wait, this is the best place to get over those kind of things.
I didn't mean that, but then when I said it, I realized like, wait, there's like I think there's a penis joke there that I didn't mean to make, but it happened, and now I just said that word. So, next question. Let's go over here.
You guys can ask Allie as well. I'm just doing what I'm doing.
What were you thinking when you lost the drone?
You lost the drone.
Not again.
You need to like get the drone stuck in the tree, you fall off the fence, montage,
Yeah,
like all the times you crashed the drone, lost the drone, fell off a fence trying to get the drone.
here, I would like to know.
That one of Danny's podcasts that you put property of NSA on your drones, and I love that.
On the podcast, or Danny's podcast?
Yeah, and also, when did you first start to realize that you you loved vlogging? Like, when was that realization of loving to vlog?
Clarify, when did I learn that I love vlogging? Is that what you said? I would say, kind of, the first VidCon was like a really cool experience because you kind of put faces to comments and you kind of realize that you're actually talking to people and you're not talking to a camera. I think Shay can agree with that. Like, for the longest time when we were doing this, we just thought we were just talking to ourselves and there's comments and stuff like that. But it's kind of hard to like realize that there's actual people behind those comments. And
that's why these events are great because we're like, oh, yeah, hey, Johnny Walker 698. It's good to see you. Thanks for the comments.
Yeah,
so he said you put property of NSA on your quadcopters?
What?
Property of NSA?
Oh, I did that?
That's what he heard on Danny Duncan's podcast, that you do that. Or does Danny do that?
Oh, maybe Danny does that. I don't know. Do I do that?
I don't think he does that. Just say, yeah, I do it. It's a thing I do.
Oh, you know what? I did. I said that once in Atlanta when we were flying it. That's right. We're on tour and I was flying it in downtown.
You're supposed to remember everything you ever said or did, Charles. That's why he has to record it, because he can't remember nothing. All right, next question.
I got the same.
Makes sense. What was your favorite band at Warped Tour?
Like my favorite band to watch?
Favorite band at Warped Tour? Who'd you love like playing with, hanging out with?
Like probably Amberlin and Yellow Card are probably my favorite because they're the nicest people in the world.
I was a huge Yellow Card fan, so he sent me a video of him and hanging out with Yellow Card. I'm like, my friend is with like. Anyways, questions. Charles is famous.
Him and his brother both geek out at Warped Tour when they come hang out. It's pretty fun.
What's the biggest impact, like positively, that vlogging has made in your life?
Biggest positive impact. What's been the best thing other than all the money? Why?
Having all these people that I didn't know be so supportive over a situation that they really had no connection to me other than watching the videos. I think that was the coolest, like, most supportive thing.
That was, I mean, if you guys don't know Charles, you obviously do, that's why you're here. He was vlogging while they were cutting his head open, and a lot of people have gone through that very scary scenario, and it helped a lot of people. I was there, and it was like, people like, my mom's going through this, my aunt went through this, we're freaking out, and they can actually watch you experience that in a positive, optimistic way where you're not freaking out, and it's like, they're like, well, we can do it too, like we can make it through this seemingly impossible like problem that nobody can face, and you did it in front of all the world. It gave people a lot of strength.
I feel like that was a huge thing, and I don't know if you probably did. Shay, such a good friend of mine, was at both my surgeries, one in Boston, one in Florida. Flew to both.
I didn't mean to say I was there like, look how good of a friend I am. I mean, like, I was there when he was reading the tweets and he's like, oh, look at this person, like, look at this girl, her mom has the same thing I do. And they're like texting pictures.
He actually wanted me to put more in the video, like the gross stuff.
Yeah, I was mad at him. He's like, we should cut this out, it's too gross. I'm like, screw them, they have to look, you had to have it in your head, and they have to watch it. Like, leave that in. He cut so much of the brain stuff out. I'm like, leave it in, it's cool. Anyways, enough about me and brain stuff. Here's a question.
Check, there we go. Both of you guys, how has your size affected how you engage with your vloggers? So like, I can comment to every comment, but when you have like a zillion and one people commenting, how do you engage with people other than YouTube events and stuff?
So how do you pick the comments to reply to?
That's a very good question. Sometimes for me, it's just a lot of the ones that make me laugh.
Right, it's like the cream rises to the top, you know? Something that's funny or seems really witty, or you're like, oh, that's good. You want to reply to that, right? So, you know, try to think of something funny and witty. There's a large bearded man waving his arm at me.
I think Shay and I, we were having a conversation. I think the live streaming vlogging is like a step because of the fact that the internet, like Jay was just saying, it's getting so fast that you can watch our day as we're living the day. I think that's another step. But then you have this issue of like, not censorship, but cutting things out that you don't want on the internet, because there's
a lot of ramifications of live streaming, right?
Yeah, there's so much. I mean, because
people know where they are, and it's like, oh, they're live streaming. I know where they're at. I'm gonna go to that place there because I can see that they're there right now.
Exactly.
So there's, I think, security issues to consider, but I think holograms, virtual reality, it's scary.
Stuff, I thought it was weird. Like, really weird. I love it. But I thought it was really strange and different. Thank you. I didn't really understand it. I watched a few of his videos, but like in the beginning I didn't watch anything. I'll be honest, I didn't watch any of his videos. I didn't really want to know what it was about. I let him explain it to me. He was super respectful with not having me on the vlogs, so I guess I didn't really understand it in the beginning. Once I started becoming in the vlogs, I was nervous. I will be 100% honest with you guys, it was not what I wanted to do. I was a private person. I was not about showing my life off to people. But I noticed it was hard for him. It was hard for him to keep me out of what his life was. And daily vlogging is his life. I mean, that's what he does every single day. And making him kind of jump around me being in the vlogs was so hard. So I accepted it. It was scary. It was scary, but it's something that's completely changed my life.
I remember the first vlog you made. I was like excited because I remember the vlogs that like you could kind of see. I was like, I want to see her.
He did the whole Squiggles thing, which was funny. I liked it. It kind of stuck. I love you too.
I think this guy's watched a few of your videos. Have you seen all of them?
That's awesome. Good for you.
That's a good question though, because that's a weird thing to start dating somebody. It's like, oh,
it's like Untitled. You know what I mean? You wouldn't go see that movie. You want to make something for yourself. Don't do it for the money. Don't do it for the fame. If you love doing it and having fun do it. But I mean, if the wrong reasons will always kind of make you crash and burn, I think, in my opinion. What about you?
I mean, my advice to, an up-and-coming YouTuber is the same advice that I would just give, to anybody in my videos. There are specific things, like you need to follow some of the tips and tricks that a lot of the YouTubers use. I just copy other YouTubers. So it's like if I see another YouTuber doing something like, with the end slate or like link to this, I'm like, oh, that's a good trick.
So that's
like,
why you do
I'm
that.
gonna use that, So like an end slate, right? That's a great thing to have to get other people to click on more of your videos. So there's little tricks like that that you need to use. You should link all your stuff. You should have good annotations. Like all that stuff matters. Cards are awesome because everybody's on mobile and you can't click on an annotation if it's not a card. Some of you are like, what are you talking about? I barely know. And you gotta do things like thumbnail and title. Like you have to, it's still a big thing to have a good thumbnail and title. And if you don't think about that or put any time or effort into that, people aren't gonna wanna click on your stuff. Like don't mislead people, like that's happened a lot. I've done that. Hot chick dies, or like people want to see a hot chick, whatever. But you gotta have something that's like, wait, what is this?
Yeah, because you wouldn't go to a movie that was like a white poster that said Untitled. You know what I mean? You wouldn't go see that movie. You want to make something interesting. And I feel YouTube's been doing a lot of cool things to the community within your channel. I don't know if you guys actually know stuff like this, but there's like, if you go in the community section and create, you can actually blacklist words. So if you're a parent and you want a kid to have a channel, you can blacklist certain words and they're automatically held for review, so they're not just spammed on your channel, which is something I just found out recently, which is pretty amazing. Hey, where's your thing? You keep wandering around. But I definitely come back to your thing. Keep going, keep doing it. This is an amazing thing. I like to say, this is the greatest career I never thought I could have. I guess is the best way to say it.